It began with a sound, a soft rhythmic ticking echoing through an empty workshop at 2:47 a.m. The kind of sound that usually fades into the background, but tonight it wouldn't stop. Each tick felt sharper, louder, almost deliberate, as if time itself was trying to get someone's attention. In the quiet town of Ainsworth, there was one man who understood the language of clocks better than anyone else: Elias Rowe, the town's last clockmaker. For 40 years, Elias repaired and built clocks by hand. His shop was a museum of time itself. Grandfather clocks leaning against the walls like ancient sentinels, pocket watches suspended like stars, and a single massive clock mounted above his workbench. But among the hundreds of gears and pendulums, one clock was different. It was smaller, elegant, and completely handmade, a creation he had never shown to anyone. It sat in a glass case, labeled simply, Chronos No. 1. Elias had built it in 1983, a lifetime ago. But something about it had always unsettled him. It didn't keep time like the others, it seemed to anticipate it. When the minute hand moved, Elias could swear he saw it twitch just seconds before it was supposed to. This clock wasn't following time, it was leading it. And then one morning, it stopped ticking. He thought it was dust, a faulty spring, or maybe just old age. But when he opened the mechanism, everything was perfect. The hands had simply frozen at 11:59. Elias tried winding it, resetting it, even replacing the gears, but the hands refused to move. That night, unable to sleep, he sat in his workshop, staring at the clock under a dim lamplight. As the room filled with the whisper of other clocks striking midnight, something strange happened. Chronos No. 1 ticked once, just once, and its hands jumped forward to 12:01. Elias frowned. That's not possible. He checked the large wall clock. It was still midnight. He checked his own pocket watch. Midnight. But Chronos No. 1 insisted it was 12:01. And then, the phone rang. A voice on the other end, trembling and distant, reported a fire downtown, a small antique store. Elias froze. That store was right across from his shop. He rushed outside, and there it was, flames lighting up the night sky, smoke rising into the cold air. The time on his wristwatch read 12:01. From that night on, the clock started ticking again, but not normally. Every time it jumped ahead, something happened. A streetlight would flicker out. A car would crash at the intersection. A power outage. The events were always small, always precise. The clock wasn't predicting disaster, it was scheduling it. Elias became obsessed. He started logging each shift in a small notebook. March 12th, 4:47 p.m. Electrical short in the town square. April 3rd, 9:12 a.m. Newspaper press malfunctioned. Each event aligned perfectly. The clock wasn't broken, it was warning him. But then one day, it moved differently. It skipped 5 minutes ahead. 5:35 p.m. Elias checked his wristwatch. It was 5:30. He waited, holding his breath. And then, at exactly 5:35, his shop lights flickered out. When they came back on, he saw something new. Carved faintly into the brass rim of Chronos No. 1 was a small engraving, one he swore hadn't been there before. It read, "Not every moment belongs to you." Elias rubbed at the words, thinking it was a trick of the light, but they were etched deep into the metal. Permanent. A cold dread crawled up his spine. The next morning, his apprentice Nora arrived early. She found Elias pacing the workshop, surrounded by open clock casings and torn blueprints. He told her everything, about the time jumps, the warnings, the chilling message. Nora listened, her brow furrowed in thought, and finally said, "Maybe it's reacting to you. Maybe it's not the clock changing time. Maybe it's showing the time that you change." That thought haunted him, because if it were true, it meant he wasn't just witnessing time, he was affecting it. Over the next few days, Elias tried experiments. He wound the clock slower, then faster. He even tried dismantling it. But each time it seemed to reassemble itself perfectly. He couldn't explain it. Once he left the shop door locked overnight. When he returned in the morning, the clock had moved 3 hours ahead, and every single clock in the shop had synchronized with it. He began noticing other patterns. Each time the hands jumped forward, his reflection in the glass looked slightly older. It wasn't dramatic, just a subtle hint. His wrinkles seemed a little deeper, his hair a shade grayer. Time, it seemed, was taking its payment. One evening, Nora found him staring into the clock's glass case again. He whispered, "Do you think we're supposed to stop it?" She hesitated. If it really controls time, maybe stopping it stops everything. Elias nodded slowly. "Or maybe," he said, his voice barely audible, "it only stops me." That night, he had a dream. He stood in a vast, cavernous hall filled with clocks of every shape and size, all ticking in perfect harmony, except for one, his Chronos, number 1. It was silent. A voice echoed through the hall, ancient and powerful. "You built what you could never understand. Now time wants balance." He woke in a cold sweat. It was 3:07 a.m. The workshop was dark, except for Chronos number 1, which was glowing faintly from within, its hands spinning faster and faster. He stumbled to his desk, heart pounding in his chest, and saw another engraving appear below the first one. This one read, "You can't rewind what was never yours." Nora arrived the next morning to find Elias gone. The clock stood perfectly still at 7:12. For days, she searched the shop, the storage room, the attic, but Elias Rowe had vanished. No one had seen him leave. His coat still hung by the door. His tools were untouched on his workbench. The only thing new, the main wall clock now ticked perfectly in rhythm with Chronos number 1. Then came the letter. It arrived a week later, addressed to Nora with no return name. Inside, Elias's familiar handwriting read, "If you're reading this, I think I've found where time goes when it disappears. Don't try to fix the clock. It's not broken. It's a door. But every door requires a trade. I thought I was winding the future, but it was winding me." Below the letter was a small ornate brass key labeled "Final Winding." Nora hesitated for days, but her curiosity grew stronger each night as the ticking in the empty workshop grew louder, faster, almost impatient. Finally, one evening, she took the key and approached Chronos number 1. With a trembling hand, she wound it once. The second hand began to move, but backward. The air in the room grew heavy, thick. Every clock in the shop froze at the exact same time. 12:01. A soft hum filled the room, like hundreds of gears whispering in unison. Nora stepped back as her reflection in the glass began to shift. A younger version of herself stared back at her. The room flickered, and then she heard Elias's voice, faint but clear, echoing from all around her. "You shouldn't have come back, Nora. It doesn't stop. It only rewinds." The light flickered once more, and she was gone. The next morning, the townspeople found the clockmaker's shop unlocked. The clocks were silent, all except one, Chronos number 1. Its hands were moving normally again. And inside the glass case, reflected faintly in the brass rim, were two silhouettes, one tall, one small, standing side by side. Every hour, on the minute, the clock ticks twice. The locals say if you stand close enough, you can hear a voice whispering between the ticks. Some say it's Elias, still counting the seconds. Others say it's Nora, asking to be let out. But no one dares open the case anymore, because every time someone tries, the clock jumps ahead exactly 1 minute. And when it does, the town's clocks, all of them, skip that same minute too. Time, it seems, is still keeping score. Thanks for joining us on this journey through time. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more mysteries. See you in the next one.